Now. So
Good day. My name is Dr. Rodney Miller, and it's my privilege to be the Dean of the College of Fine Arts here at Wichita State University. I want to welcome all of you to this Zoom presentation. This particular presentation is looking specifically at the newest school in the college, the School of Digital Arts. The school isn't even a year old yet, and we'll get to that at a later point in the presentation. Let me make some introductions all the way around. First, I would like to introduce the director of the School of Digital Arts and also the director of Shocker Studios, Justin Rorabaugh. He's also the program director for collaborative design. We also have joining us today Timothy Babb, who is the program director for animation, and Mark Foley, who is the program director for audio production. We have two other program directors that couldn't be with us today, Brett Jones, who is the program director for filmmaking, and Kelly Johnson, who is program director for game design. Well, right now, what I'd like to do is to turn it over to Tim Babb, who's going to talk to you a little bit about animation. Tim, take it away.
All right. So with our animation program, we've got there's a lot that goes into the animation pipeline, and it's really an exciting field because there's pretty much a place for everybody within animation somewhere. The pipeline includes traditional art, things like storyboarding and doing concept art and things of that nature. And then also we get into things like character modeling and environment modeling. And so we can do that traditionally, but we can also do that in 3D. And so we do like 3D modeling. We also do like clay modeling and things like that too. And clay modeling actually can also transition into a digital platform as well with things like ZBrush, which is a digital sculpting software. And so we do things of that nature too. And so essentially we start with like planning animation and starting to build models and things like that. And then we get into actually rigging things so that they can move. And then we start working through animations. And then we slowly start to put all that together to build an animation. And it's been pretty exciting because our studio has also had opportunities with like outside clients. So we've had opportunities to partner with outside clients to build animations for different businesses and things like that too, which I find great in the sense that students then get the opportunity to take what they're learning in the classroom and apply that knowledge into building 3D animations and doing some fun stuff like that. So we've got a lot of fun things going on. We've got a lot of exciting things even coming up. And so, yeah, there's a bunch that we do, and we also try to provide opportunities for developing portfolios through animation competitions and image competitions. And so the kids get quite a few opportunities to showcase off their work as well, and to build some of that portfolio that they can show off to future clients and future employers. So that's a little bit about the animation program. We got some fun things going on with that.
okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on, and Professor Dr. Mark Foley is going to tell us about the audio production side of things.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, I'm really excited about this new program. The growth of it has just really been astounding me. And it's really deeply personal to me too. Just to kind of bounce off what Tim was just saying, I'm really interested in how we apply our knowledge to actually working in the field and reaching out to people. I'm a musician by trade. I play with the Wichita Symphony. I play the string bass. I do a lot of jazz, and I even get to play in a rock band now and then. Um, but I'm a child of the '70s. I grew up wanting to be a rock star, and then all of a sudden, I'm in a program where I'm actually getting to use the tools that I wanted to use when I was 16 years old. So it's taken a while, but I'm finally getting to realize my dreams a little bit. We've got some amazing facilities here, um, but really, like what Tim was saying, we're able to be part of a production pipeline where we're learning tools that we can use to put together film scores or music for games and music for animations and things. I'm getting to do a little scoring myself, which is just amazingly fun, and I'm hoping that this program is broad enough that we can accommodate any facet of the industry that we want. We've got two brand new recording studios. I mean, brand new recording studios, really well equipped. So I'm having a really good time just playing with all these new toys. But aside from the facilities, it's really just about how we're able to make connections between people um, in a way, bringing musicians into larger projects, which is something I've always wanted to do. And I hope that works out for the students too, because that's our goal.
Thank you, Mark. Now we're going to go to Justin, who is the
Okay, so I think that Dean Miller cut out there. So I'm gonna kick off and start talking to you about collaborative design. So the cool thing about collaborative design, and really this is what we consider our fifth concentration in the School of Digital Arts when we start talking about media arts. Collaborative design is that one degree concentration where we can take work from animation, audio production, filmmaking, game design, as well as some courses in the innovation design program, and pull them all together to build a unique program of study. We're able to build, say you want to do a little bit of film, you want to do some audio, you want to pull in animation. You can build all of that together and still get a bachelor's of applied arts and media arts in the same length of time as focusing on one individual concentration. And part of the idea behind this collaborative concentration is it helps to prepare students to be ready to take on the master's in innovation design. So it's the ideal undergraduate degree to take that next step into a master's degree. And that's the really great thing about the MID is it's a program that, again, you are designing what your education looks like. You really get to be very hands-on. And so this degree in collaborative design is the precursor in that. It still has the same requirements as the others. You just have a little bit more freedom of choice in the direction that you want your degree to go. So from here, I want to move on to our next concentration, which is filmmaking. And like I said, unfortunately, Brett couldn't be here this afternoon, but the great thing about our filmmaking concentration is it really allows to develop that technical skill set in the behind the cameras work. You understand and develop an understanding of the on and off camera skills, what's necessary to make a commercial, to make a documentary, to make a narrative film, to do a short, and to create whatever type of video or film project you like. You get to touch on script writing and script analysis. You go into visual effects and editing, cinematography, and ultimately everything that we do at the School of Digital Arts all comes back to storytelling. And what better way to tell a story than through a film? But keep in mind, everything we do comes back to storytelling. So it's really, and it's almost deceptive, but what you're getting is a degree in fantastical storytelling. You're able to express a story in a really great way. And so we're able to do that. And filmmaking is one of the mechanisms that allows us to do that. And in addition to the full-time faculty that we have in Brett Jones, we have some amazing faculty that we work with, including Ryan Gates and Michael Downs, and some of these people that have professional world experience, doing everything from Disney to the Kids WB to Hollywood. I mean, it really runs the gamut with what we're able to do with filmmaking. And so from here, let's transition into game design. And so we're one of those unique programs that we have a really cool motion capture studio that we're able to capitalize on for all of our concentrations. But for game design, it's especially cool when we look at what we're able to do in multiple platforms of game design and game development, whether that's something that's 2D, 3D, and we're going to use motion capture for more something that's 3D. But this is where students get to pull all of that creative work that they've done, and then on the back side of it is all the coding and the game technology and how you make those really cool images move in the way you want them to move. The work we get to do with the audio production when it comes to game design is amazing, because it's not sitting down necessarily with someone else's score. You're getting to create the score yourself. You're getting to determine, okay, if that action is happening, how should that sound? What would be a cool sound effect to really make that action pop? What brings it to life? And so right now, one of the exciting things that we're doing in game design is we're exploring much more in the world of virtual reality. And we're working with some industry partners right now at the beginning stages of developing some really cool virtual reality experiences based on previous work we've already done in animation. And so it really is the type of program where the future is right in front of us, and we're getting to stick our hand into it, sometimes virtually, in a virtual reality sense, to create and to make what's new and exciting. So that's game design. So one of the things that's unique to all of our concentrations, whether it's animation or collaborative design, all of them, they all have to go through the same, and I shudder to say Common Core, because it's not like Common Core math or anything like that, but they all go through the same basic core of classes. So everyone that's in our program has to go through an intro to media arts. They do an intro to media aesthetics and analysis. And then one of the things we didn't mention is that this degree is highly collaborative. So we have coursework from 3 other schools and then even other colleges. So 2 of the courses that are listed here, the COM 306 and COM 406, are through our Elliott School of Communication. And so the COM 306, they call it Introduction to Multimedia, but it's really a basic digital editing course where students get exposure to working with a Premiere Pro through the Adobe Creative Cloud and starting that process of editing together different film segments. And then they go into COM 406 as well, and that's all the basic audio editing, where they start working, and they'll work more with Audition. They'll use some Pro Tools, but they get to go into our recording studios and work on sound in there. They do field recording. So there's a lot of things that all of our students, regardless of the concentration, need to have a base understanding of these foundational concepts that they can carry out into their field. Additionally, this is where we really start hitting in the applied learning hard and heavy and the professional world. You have to take 3 different professional practice courses. They're each 1 credit hour, and you cover legal issues, business development, and portfolio development. So that's 3 different semesters where you're going to have a different person that you work with on these different professional practices. So it's not only being prepared to enter the world beyond higher education, it's being prepared to enter that world as a knowledgeable professional that knows how to read a contract. What's an NDA? How does that work? How does working with a 501c3 work? What should my portfolio look like? What should my website look like? All of those things that help our students enter the world in a professional sense, ready to hit the ground running. And then we also have 3 different levels of practicum. This is the hands-on getting that applied work, and it's very similar to, and I think a Maslow's hierarchy of learning. We hit at a base level, and that's our practicum 1, where students you're just getting introduced to stuff. By practicum 2, you've got some specialization in a certain area, and so you focus on that. And by the time you get to practicum 3, this is really that capstone experience. You've been in this program, you've been exposed to all these different concepts and learned the techniques and the skills. Practicum 3 is where you get to show us what you're made of. This is where you get to pull it all together and create a project or be a part of a project. And it's something that's where you get to really apply what it is that you've been learning in this entire program. And so all of our concentrations have to go through this shared core of courses. Similarly, we also put on here about our laptop requirement. All students in the College of Fine Arts at Wichita State are required to have a laptop. There's some benefit to that in that when it's required, students get to write that off as an educational expense on their taxes, or mom and dad get to do that, depending on your tax situation, but also it can count towards your federal aid packaging. And so in the School of Digital Arts, it's a little bit different than the rest of the college in that we are working with high-powered machines in front of us all the time. And so in the classroom, you need to have a laptop that's capable of running the software that we work with. So if you go to our Facebook page and go to WSU Shocker Studios, we have pinned our requirement list there for what the minimum recommendations are as far as our laptops. You can also contact the School of Digital Arts, and there will be information coming later in the presentation that kind of outlines what it is that what we really think the students should have as a minimum to be successful in the classroom. So now, and I'm not going to do all the talking here, but I want to tell you a little bit about our production facility. Shocker Studios, we've got a little over 35,000 square feet of production space and classrooms. We're located at the WSU South campus, so we're not on the main campus. We're about 15 minutes south of the main campus in what they call the Old Harry Street Mall. It's a setting that used to be a department store called Montgomery Ward's, and for all you students out there, you have no idea what that is, and that's perfectly okay. Montgomery Ward's is similar to what Sears or JCPenney's is. It was a big department store, and where everybody called it Monkey Ward's, but that department store space is no more, and we're actually in an old mall. And so the space we have is unique in that it's big and open, and it's been customized to focus on what we do in the digital and media arts. And so the next space that I want to talk about is kind of our classrooms and our animation studio. And actually, since we've got Professor Babb on the screen here, I want to let Professor Babb talk a little bit about our animation studio. And if you want to share a little bit about the classrooms, that'd be great, Tim.
Yeah, so one of the things that we just got were those really nice high-powered projectors. And so we've got a really nice classroom space where students can spread out and collaborate and all that sort of stuff too. But we've got some really nice equipment to work with. And so these high-powered projectors that we have in the classroom produce, so like in this image here that you see, like what I'm working on my laptop is being projected for the rest of the class to follow along with. And these projectors are really vibrant and really pretty crystal as far as being able to see what's happening and follow along. Now, not that you can't ask questions and things like that, right? That's encouraged. But having tools like that really are helpful in us being able to deliver the information that we're trying to deliver. And so we've got some great, fun classroom spaces. There's also murals and paintings and things like that up on the walls that just really builds an artist-friendly environment. And the second that you walk into Shocker Studios, I think you'll feel that you'll. It's a very wow factor. From our green screen studios to our animation studios, we have some really nice Cintiqs And for those of you that aren't familiar with Cintiqs, they're essentially these really nice, really large screens that you can take a pen and start to paint like Photoshop type work on, or the digital sculpting where you're actually tumbling around in 3D and doing digital clay. Essentially, you can sculpt right onto the image. Now we have tablets and things like that where you can sculpt on and stuff and then see on your computer screen what's happening. But having Cintiqs at the studio is also really, really cool, because you can right there exactly where you're wanting that detail on, you can see it right there on the screen and you can put it right there. And so we've got some really fun tools, I think, to work with and play with, because it is kind of both, right? It's playing with the art, it's having fun with it. It is work, but it's also fun work. And so our space is really exciting. Definitely come and check it out. Check out the artwork that's been done. We also try to display things that students have done through image competitions, or even in our animation studio. We try to get a lot of artwork up that students have produced. And I think that's fun too, to work, play, have fun, collaborate with others, and then get your work out there to start to be viewed by others, even if it's just in our space at the moment. Some of the other students and peers and things like that can get to see art that's been produced.
Okay, great. Thanks, Tim. The projectors he's talking about, we just put in 4K laser projectors. So some of our other facilities, we have a clay modeling studio where it's not that digital art, it's more the traditional hands-on working with clay. We use a plasticine clay or plastiline. So it's a oil-based clay. We don't have the dust mess that you would get with the water-based clay. And so our students are able to work and take a character and bring it to life. And then we're working on some things with photogrammetry where we can take those clay models and convert them into a digital model, pull them into a different software in our animation studio, and work with them in a digital sculpting fashion using ZBrush or other software of that nature. One of our next facility spaces, we have the motion capture studio. We've got 2D and 3D design studios, painting studios, drawing studios. We have a virtual reality development lab, which is basically, it's a giant room with square patches of carpet on the ground that we use for developing stuff in VR. Next slide, we've got, this is taken in our film studio. We have it says 6,400 square foot film studio, complete with the largest green screen in the Midwest. It's all Digicomp green. We have recording studios. Dr. Foley was talking about those. We have a recording, an audio studio. They're both recording audio. Spit it out here.
Talk about those if you like.
Yeah, Mark, why don't you tell us a little bit about the recording studio?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because I'm really proud of it. It's brand spanking new. We've got 2 recording studios. They're fully equipped and really tweaked out really nicely acoustically. They've got ISO booths and nice isolated rooms. One of them is all digital. It's got a Raven system and it's optimized to 7.1 playback. So we can do, surround sound for gaming and film. Then the other one is all analog. That's got a 32 channel Audient board. So it's old school. We've got a full contingent of outboard gear that goes with everything. And then a really nice locker of microphones that I'm really proud of. And we keep tweaking and adding to that too. So I'm really proud of it. I don't know if we even have any slides of it right now because it's so new that I think we got shut down before we were able to take pictures.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mark. I think it right before we had just finished up the work in the studios and everything got shut down for COVID-19. So there's no pictures of those yet, but they're coming soon. So equipment-wise, we have a variety of equipment, and as Mark was just talking about, the microphones and the equipment that we have in our recording studios We have everything that you need to do a full mic up, and we're constantly adding. As far as our other equipment, though, one of the really cool things about Shocker Studios is that students are able to come to the front desk and check out whatever equipment they need to do the project work that they have in front of them. So our DSLR cameras range from Canon, Sony, Panasonic. We've got GH5s, the A7S2s. In the Canon house, we've got everything from, the 5D Mark IVs all the way down to the T5Is, T5 or the T6Is. All of those come in backpacks with Rode mics, everything. So you can check out a camera kit and have everything you need to go out and do full-scale production. For audio equipment, we've got all the stuff in the studios, but then we also have field recorders. We've got a stock of H5s and H6s that students can check out, multiple boom mics. We have Tascam field recorders, field mixers, all those things that you can take out and use in the field when you're working on capturing sound, or maybe you're on a film set and you're needing to get sound. Lighting equipment, we've got a lot of Dracast lighting equipment in studio. We have LED Fresnels that are all capable of being mounted on some stands or going up into the lighting grid. We've got Dracast 3-point light kits that can be checked out from the front desk, so you can just run and gun and go and shoot and set up a quick 3-point light out in the field to get exactly what you need. All of this stuff, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment that's all right there at our students' disposal. They can get their hands on it and use it, including you can check out a VR headset from us. We've got Quests and Goes and Rifts. So if you are developing in the virtual reality world, we have all the tools that are necessary. So you don't have to come into this program already owning all of this expensive equipment. We've got it and we provide it, and so you can come in, get hands-on, and then you might be able to say, you know what, I like that Canon camera. You know, I didn't like the Canon, I preferred the Panasonic. It's kind of like that. Try it before you buy it. You can come in and use all this different equipment and then have an idea about, okay, when I'm ready to do this, this is what I want. This is where I want to invest my money, because it is an investment in your future. And so to have the capability to come in and use all of this high-end professional equipment prior to graduating and having to go out and figure it out, or prior to having to spend a lot of money to do this, to have that opportunity is truly amazing. And that comes, I mean, on this list here, we also talk about the tripods and the hardware and the full grip kit. We've got, you name it, we've probably got it. We don't have the real high-end cameras, the Reds yet, but we're looking and investigating that. We do have just purchased the Ursa Mini Pro cams, the 4.6, and then also we have the Pocket Cinema cameras, and then we're going to be looking at some of the Aries and Reds as we move down the road. So next, a little bit about orientation. All of our students are required, all incoming students are required to go through an orientation. It's given the pandemic, everything has been transitioned to an online and a virtual environment. And it will have all the same information that you would have gotten at the in-person orientation. You'll be able to get at these online orientations. You'll spend an hour meeting with your first year advisors, and all of our incoming students that have 24 credit hours or less will meet with the one-stop advisor, and her name will be coming up on a different slide here. It's Brittany Ulmer. But you'll meet with an advisor while you're doing your virtual orientation. You get to do a virtual campus tour with the transition mentors. And then also there's different student involvement activities, and I think you'll probably get to meet and hear from us once again, but you'll get to meet more of your College of Fine Arts faculty and administration. But that's required of everyone. So if you're an incoming student and you've probably gotten this email already, but if you haven't, go to wichita.edu/orientation to look up all the orientation and get yourself signed up for an orientation so we can start planning what this next year is going to look like. So the next thing I want to talk about a little bit is advising. In the College of Fine Arts, we're unique in that it's really kind of a dual advising situation to where you're going to meet with a faculty advisor, and then you're going to meet with someone in our advising center. Now, as I mentioned, all first-year students and everyone that's less than 24 credit hours, you're going to meet with Brittany Ulmer in the Shocker One Stop, and she works closely with us to know what's going on in our program, and she can help advise you into where you should go. But then after you get in the program and you get to know who the faculty are, you'll meet with a faculty advisor in the future, and the faculty advisor can really help you look at what direction you're wanting to go with your career, and what are some of the classes you could take and should take that would best equip you with moving that forward. And then also we have, and so you also then will meet with our advising center. So you'll meet with, after your faculty advisor, you meet with someone in the advising center who they cross the T's and dot the I's and make sure that we haven't missed things. But then they also are the ones that can lift the holds to help you, to allow you to register. We also are excited to have Stephanie Cockrell as our success coach. So if for some reason you get to college and life kind of hits you in the face and someone says, I want to make sure we're doing all we can, Stephanie can help you with getting connected with tutoring services, with the health and wellness. Stephanie's one of those people that she genuinely cares about our students, and she will go out of her way to make sure that our students are successful in all that they do. On here, there's also a link, let's pop back, about CFA scholarships. If you go to wichita.edu/CFA scholarship or /CFA scholarship, that will take you to our scholarship portal. Now, the School of Digital Arts is new enough of a school. We are just now finishing up our third year. So at the beginning, the dean kind of talked about in the introduction that this is a new program. We've only been in existence for 3 years. And a lot of times when you start talking about scholarships, where scholarship money comes from a lot of the time is from your alumni. Well, we're new enough, we don't have a lot of alumni yet. So it's going to take us some time to build up our scholarships. But that being said, we have developed a couple scholarships, and we do have one large scholarship fund, which is the James and Catherine Buck Scholarship that we encourage our students to apply for. There are certain caveats with it. You have to be working full-time, or not full-time, excuse me. You have to be a full-time student. You have to work off campus a minimum of 8 hours, and that on-campus employment doesn't count. It has to be off campus. You have to show financial need, and the initial GPA requirement for this is between a 2.5 and a 3.5. And now that's initial. So if you've got a GPA of 3.4 and you qualify for Buck, the idea then is that you can focus on school and you can actually build that GPA up. So say you build your GPA up to a 3.6, you're still eligible. It's just that initial GPA being between 2.5 and 3.5. Okay, now we can go to the next slide where it's our contact info. If you want to get a hold of Shocker Studios, the number's there. You can email shockerstudios@wichita.edu. It's just a general email. My contact's on there, 7731 is my extension. You can reach me at justin.rorabaugh@wichita.edu and check out our social media. We do a lot of really cool work, but a lot of that work is for clients, and so it's not work that you're going to see unless you're told that it's work we've done. So we post what we can that's student work, but a lot of the work that we do is either covered by non-disclosure agreements or someone is actually paying for that, and so they own the content. That doesn't mean you can't show it in your portfolio, which we encourage you to do because that helps you get jobs. But I can tell you that some of the work we've had students that have done work for Snoop Dogg, for Airbus, Spirit Aerosystems, Wichita Police Department, Children's Miracle Network, the Via Christi Hospitals, different hair salons. That it really spans the gamut. Right now, one of our groups that we work with is the Wichita Force Football. So we really
popcorn. Don't forget popcorn.
Oh yeah, and we're working on some animation work for Sonic Boom Popcorn as well. I mean, so it really, and I can't list them all because that's another video we'd have to make. But you have the opportunity while you're a student in the School of Digital Arts to do that professional work so that when you graduate and you're in front of that employer and they say, okay, but what have you done? You can say, oh, well, I did this, 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 and this. In addition to going to school, I was doing this. And we're there to support you. We're there to help you make that happen. So that's a quick snapshot and an overview of the School of Digital Arts and Shocker Studios. I want to thank everybody for your time today, and Tim and Mark had to jump off because they were meeting with students virtually, so they had to go. But that's all I have to say from the School of Digital Arts, and with that, I'll turn it back to Dean Miller.
I just have a couple of comments that are appropriately general to the College of Fine Arts. The School of Digital Arts is only one of 4 schools that we have in the College of Fine Arts. We're the only comprehensive College of Fine Arts in Kansas, and we have a faculty that is second to none. We are one of the most respected colleges in the country. We have faculty and alumni who have either won or been nominated for every major arts award there is. They have their artwork hanging in just about every major gallery and museum that there is. They've performed just about every place that you can, Hollywood, Broadway, just every major opera house, et cetera, et cetera. We also are unique in that we, in terms of scholarship that Justin mentioned, we give out more than $500,000 in scholarship funding every year. Now, some of that is scholarship funding that people audition for or are awarded because of a portfolio review or an interview prior to coming here. However, the majority of that resource is money that we give to students who are already here. That is something that you need to make sure that you follow through on once you get here as well. We also have an unbelievable amount of square footage. We are located in a dozen different buildings, more than 350,000 square feet of facilities. So this is a wonderful college for you to come to, but the best and I think the most important thing is if you come to this college, you're part of the College of Fine Arts family. We truly do think of you as part of our family. We try to treat you as part of our family. And I hope that I will be able to see each one of you personally this fall when you come. And I wish you a wonderful summer. And I think with that, we're going to sign off and say thank you for listening. Take care and God bless.